Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Nelly. Why do you keep clinging on that door when someone walks away from you? Do you think they'll change their minds? Let's say they do change their minds. Would you trust them again after making that decision that they want to leave you? There's a kind of strength in letting go, not with bitterness or drama, but with dignity. Today, we're going to talk about reasons why you should let go of someone when they decide to leave you. One of the reasons is self-worth, which isn't negotiation. When someone chooses to walk away, it's not your job to convince them to stay. You cannot convince a grown person to stay if they don't want to. It's not worth to convince your presence. Your value won't decrease just because they fail to see it. They have made that decision to leave, so don't stop them. When you begin to show that you're begging them, that erodes dignity, and dignity is the backbone of self-respect. So don't beg them, just let them go with dignity. Otherwise, that will cause unhealthy relationships. You often find yourself wearing that mask at first because you're led by your emotions. But underneath the emotional foundation is shaky, which can be very harmful to you. That is why you need to let go when someone decides to leave you. And the next reason why you should let go is a person should be willing to love you, not force. Because when you love someone really, you need to freely love them. And it shouldn't be a force to love someone, because that force may turn to resentment. What's left here, it's not love. It's just an obligation to be with this person. Your relationship is no longer rooted in mutual desire, but in guilt or pity. So you don't want to stay in a relationship that is rooted in guilt or pity. When someone stays just because you have begged them to stay, do you think that person loves you? Do you think that person really cares about you? Or maybe it's just they're staying because they feel pity. You don't want to be in that kind of relationship. What kind of love is left? Or maybe it's just pity. Because when it comes to love, it doesn't beg. It shows up and it leads in. What type of relationship are you in with this person when you constantly have to beg them to stay? Because begging will eventually create unhealthy emotions, which comes to the next reason. You'll feel like you're orbiting on someone else's world, not yours. This is when you have that fear of abandonment and it will control your actions. A lot of people have that fear of being single. This is when they stay in relationships when they clearly know that that relationship is no longer working for them, but they'll still stay. Why? Why would you stay in a relationship when that person will constantly threaten you that they're going to leave you? You're always afraid to lose your partner and you constantly become a people's pleaser. You become apologetic all the time whenever there's an argument. You cannot bring out your voice out because you don't want this person to be upset. You don't want this person to be upset with you and you want them to stay with you all the time. So you're no longer yourself, really. Sometimes you even suppress your own needs just to keep them close to you, even though you know you're hurting. I know this may make you feel empty when someone that you love decides to leave you. Their absence may create a deep sense of uneasiness. But it doesn't mean that you should beg them to stay when they choose to leave. The truth is your life will start revolving around someone that's not even interested in you. This will always lead you to start seeking validation from that person. When you start begging this person to stay, when you clearly know that this person is not interested, this is when you start depending on that person's approval in order to feel good about yourself. You cannot make decisions on your own without seeking approval from this person. You begin to lose your dignity and you won't see it. Even people around you will tell you, but you won't see it because you're always seeking approval from this person. Your life begins to take a backseat as you try to please your partner all the time. Begging someone to stay, it creates that imbalance that will slowly corrode both love and respect. And that imbalance is a bad place for resentment. When you are the one pleading while the other holds the power to leave, it establishes that emotional hierarchy. The one that is begging will feel small, desperate, and ashamed. And the one that's being begged might stay, not out of love, but out of guilty, or maybe pressure. And you would think you've won, they've stayed. And yet they're not staying because they love you. They're slowly strategizing their next exit. And over time, that breeds resentment in both parties. If you're not the one being begged, you'll begin to feel unworthy. And you become anxious of being abandoned. You often suppress your feelings because you're avoiding rocking the boat. And this emotional buckling may lead to inner bitterness. But why do you have to work so hard just to be loved? Why? If you're the one that stayed, you eventually feel trapped in this relationship. You may blame the other person for not letting them go when they wanted to, even though they never took full accountability for their own decisions. Resentment is a slow unveiling. It doesn't always shout, it simmers. And when love starts to feel like an obligation instead of a choice, both partners may lose. One loses their inner peace, while the other loses their freedom. Which comes to the next point. As much as you won't realize it, but their exit may be your freedom. Sometimes the people that walk out may create that space for healing, growth, and better relationships. What feels like a loss is often redirection. But you can't receive what is meant for you while you're still clinging what isn't meant for you, when you're still begging that person to stay. You may think you're fighting for love, but what you're really doing is resisting alignment. You're trying to force something that is no longer meant for you. And by doing so, you're delaying your own liberation. Begging keeps us in that fear of abandonment, and it has a way of shrinking our world. You're slowly shrinking, and you won't see it. Instead of expanding on who you're becoming, you stay small, focus on preserving on what's slipping away. And here's the truth, not everyone that enters your life is meant to stay. You cannot force a grown adult to stay when they want to leave. Some people are just catalysts, not companions. Their leaving is not your failure. Now think about it. What happens when you decide to let them go? Clarity will step in. The emotional noise settles. You reclaim your space that was once taken place by insecurity, second guessing, and emotional exhaustion. And in that space, healing has a room to breathe and growth begins. So stop auditioning love and start realizing that love is not earned through desperation. Start connecting your own voice again, not through someone else's voice. Eventually, when someone enters your life, is someone that will see you fully and chooses you freely. Not because you clung to them, but because you let go of something that wasn't. Letting go of someone walking away isn't failure. It's just redirection of your life how you want it to be. Your life is clearing the path of what's true and healthy to come your way, not what is unhealthy. Because you never receive what is meant for you if you're still clinging on things that are not meant for you. You deserve mutual effort, which comes to the next point, when you decide to stop begging someone. Because a relationship shouldn't be one-sided. When a relationship becomes one-sided, it stops being a shared experience and it becomes one emotional labor for one person. The moment you find yourself pleading for someone to stay, you've already slipped in the role of both being a caretaker and the caretaker's shadow. You're not just holding your own heart, you're holding theirs too, while it's slipping through your fingers. If you're pleading to stay in someone's life, you're just carrying the weight of two hearts alone. Carrying the weight of two hearts means you're doing all the emotional lifting, and that's not partnership, that's performance. There's a truth in this. If someone needs to be begged in order to keep you in their lives, then they're halfway out of the door. Love doesn't need convincing. It echoes between two people that want to be together. When you begin to beg, you're dimming the light. Because right people don't need convincing. They will choose you freely. So next time when a person reaches that door, let them go. And get ready for someone that's meant to be part of you. And please don't beg them. It's not worth it. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video. God bless you.